Hey everybody, you're watching Boom Bust Fantasy Football, and I'm Kyle, and we're going to take a look at the first official day of the new league year and react to free agency so far. So let's go. All right, so welcome to my first official solo live stream. We're going to swing over here. I'm going to show you guys a website I like to use for tracking transactions both during on and off season and through the draft. They do a good job of tracking these. Formerly known as RotoWorld, it is actually NBCSports.com/edge now. It looks exactly the same. It's just a new domain. So we're going to switch over there, and you can see that web address right there at the top if you want to slide over to it, and we can put it in the description on the videos on YouTube and stuff after this is done. So we're going to actually scroll down, and this site's great. You can see over here, kind of on this side, they've got the individual player news where they put what happened and then kind of their reaction to it and stuff, and they do that for everybody. But we will slide down here to the free agent tracker. So they had a few days, Monday and Tuesday, really, what they call the legal tampering period. It's kind of the unofficial start of free agency in the NFL. I'm going to pause this. Ads. So they're basically allowed to negotiate some trades and agree to things and stuff, but until the official first day of the league year, which was today, nothing's really finalized. But they have this article here. We can kind of scroll through. And what I want to do with you guys is just kind of scroll through here, take a look. We're only going to go through offense and more fantasy relevant people in this particular stream. If you want to do a defensive one for you defensive players, leaguers out there, then we can do another stream on those later. I'm going to do an update on this in a couple of days and see how many more have kind of gone. So just kind of scrolling down, and like the Dak Prescott deal, we had a whole deal about that the other day. That was kind of a big deal and was actually done a couple of days ago. So the next one down you go, Jameis Winston is back in New Orleans. They also signed Josh Hill to a long-term deal, but that deal was weird because it's kind of all voidable. So it's not really a 4-year deal. Just looks good on paper. Everybody tends to think Winston's going to end up being the starter there, and I think they probably are right. Let's see, Cam Newton back in New England. Nothing real exciting about that. He didn't really look that good last season. Not really sure he's even fantasy relevant anymore. They don't have really any receivers to speak of right now. They did just sign Jonnu Smith and Hunter Henry, which we'll get to here in a little bit, but I don't think that'll help Cam a whole lot. Ryan Fitzpatrick in Washington is intriguing. So they've got Terry McLaurin for one, Antonio Gibson. So they've got some talent. Logan Thomas, they're tied in. But then they also just signed Curtis Samuel, who we'll get to on this list eventually too, who looked fantastic with Carolina last year. And I think Fitzpatrick could be a pretty good bye week streamer, or if you're one of those quarterback late kind of people, maybe pair him with another guy and just play matchups with. I think he's going to be a very serviceable play this year. They really don't have anybody there that can, with Alex Smith wanting out, that can challenge him for that starting job. Andy Dalton in Chicago. It's going to be him and Nick Foles fighting it out, and honestly, they're talent-wise, they're about the same. Not real exciting there. Jacoby Brissett, Miami, he's a backup. Brandon Allen, Tyrod Taylor, they're all backups. Tyrod Taylor could be a starter if they end up trading Deshaun Watson like he wants to be. He could end up being a starter, but with no one really else on that offense to speak of, he's not an exciting option. And that's all the quarterbacks so far. Aaron Jones, Corey had a live stream the other night about that and how that pertained to his keeper selection and everything. This is fantastic news, especially considering this next one, Jamal Williams with Detroit. So it's going to open up more receiving opportunities for Jones, and he might finally get unleashed and used the way that he should have been from the very beginning. Malcolm Brown, nothing great there. Devontae Booker, Mark Ingram in Houston is pretty interesting. I don't think him and David Johnson flip a coin, honestly, at this point. These other guys are all backups. I'm not going to go in a lot of depth on them. Let's see. No fullbacks in fantasy. Wide receiver Allen Robinson was franchise tagged. I don't know what's going to happen there. If they'll end up signing him again or trading him or what, but it'll be interesting. Godwin, he'll end up getting re-signed, I believe. He's a very valuable receiver to the Buccaneers. Galladay, he hasn't been signed yet, but there has been, I guess, some mutual interest between the Giants and him. And then I saw earlier, let's take a look. I saw a deal earlier that said there was another team that was making a push for him now, and I can't remember who it was. All right, show me the money here. The Bengals. That'd be fun. That could be interesting. If he ends up with the Bengals, that's going to be very interesting. But I was just curious. We can cover that more in depth after he's signed. Then we can kind of decide if we like where he went or not. AJ Green to the Cardinals. He's done, right? He's not. He's a role player at this point. I don't think it's going to be. Marvin Jones with Jacksonville. I think he could get some pretty good work down there with DJ Chark and Laviska Shenault. Sanders to Buffalo is not exciting. They got Diggs. Brown with Las Vegas. Now, he could end up getting some work. Him and Ruggs together could be a pretty interesting duo out there. I forgot about Kendrick Bourne to New England. I guess that helps that skill position group along with those tight ends that they signed. But I just don't think Cam has it in him to really get the ball to him anymore. I don't know. Ooh, Aguilar too. Wow, how did I forget about Bourne and Aguilar? Okay, so these two guys signed along with the two tight ends to New England. So maybe Cam Newton has enough weapons that he can be a decent enough streamer to maybe, like I was talking about with Fitzpatrick, maybe pair those two up, play matchups. That's pretty interesting. Not really seeing Dorsett to Jacksonville is not really exciting. These guys are role players. So, yeah, there you go right there. Hunter Henry and Jonnu Smith both signed with New England. Kind of looks like they're trying to do the old Gronk Hernandez thing, right? But they don't have Tom Brady throwing to him anymore. So how effective is that going to be trying to recreate that? I guess we'll see. Brady's got his weapon back. He's got his Gronk back. And then there's the. Oh wait, I'm thinking of. No, yep. Sorry. Brain fart. I was confused. anyways, let's see. Looks like that's pretty much it. You start getting down here into linemen and stuff, and that's just probably way more in depth than any of you are going to really care about when it comes to fantasy. But if we want to go and kind of dig into some defense in a future stream, let me know. Otherwise, that's all I have for you guys tonight. Comment down below, comment on Facebook or whatever. Let me know if there's anything that you guys want to talk about. If you have any questions about anything I've covered, or want to go over some defense, just let me know. It's been real. It's been fun, and we'll catch you next time.